So, I want to make this video, and it's probably going to be a controversial video because, like, I've seen like two, three videos in the past week about this. I done had conversations with my homies about this, where like we kind of get into debates about this because I have my point of view, which is different than their point of view, and my point of view is different than a lot of people's point of view on this situation. So I'm just gonna say it anyways, right? And I'm open for like debating. I love to conversate and debate and to like if somebody has information that goes against mine, I'd love to hear about it. So like, don't be scared to comment and shit. But like I just want to talk about how I do not think social media is bad. I don't think social media is destroying the kids. I don't think social media is doing anything but revealing what is. Right? And it's this progress thing because so ever since social media was invented, things started changing, right? Because social media was invented with MySpace. I've been in this shit since MySpace, right? But the reason why I got into social media originally, like back in MySpace days, 2000, I don't even know what year that was, 2006, 2000 something, right? And 2000 something, I was in MySpace. But the reason is because I was a rapper, right? I started rapping, and MySpace was awesome because you could put your songs like on your page, right? And it was dope because like it MySpace taught us a little bit of coding, right? Like you want a dope background, you had to go like copy the code and then paste it into the code where like your page was, and like it was dope. But then social media evolved into like things like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and all these other things. These are all social media sites. So many people think that YouTube is not a social media, but we are not understanding that social media means that social aspect is y'all are gonna watch this video, you guys can comment on the video. Media being that, well, I'm mediating this, right? Like me, this is the medium, and like I'm expressing myself through the medium. We've kind of lost touch with what social media is because we keep saying it's so bad. It's almost, this reminds me of the if we go over to like natives who have never seen any of us, right? So let's say we go to a tribe that's never seen a helicopter, that's never seen an airplane, and we go with a helicopter. They're gonna start throwing spears at the helicopter. This is what people are doing with social media. We're like a bunch of tribal people. Like, no, this is the way. So then we like throw spears at social media saying this is bad, this is destroying the kids, this is this, this is that, when it's not. It's actually, it's so hard to explain that the world that you were born into no longer exists. The world that I was born into no longer exists. It's not. That is just our imagination. That is just our memories. Our memories are not necessarily real. Because the problem is that when we're holding on to what was, we're avoiding what is. Because you'll never know what is because you're so busy holding on to what was. So, like, the people that were using MySpace, even though Facebook came out, right? There were still people using MySpace, even though the whole world was switching to Facebook. But there were some people that were so stuck in the MySpace ways that they was like, some people never even made a MySpace. They just still used their email. So as this thing evolved, you either hopped on the thing with the whole planet, or you are like the Amish, where you're stuck in a certain place. Because like the Amish don't use technology, but the funny thing is they do. Like they believe technology, like up until what they have, I think they have tractors and things like that, but that is a technology. When computers and all this other stuff was invented, right, there was like, no, none of that. But that's because they're stuck in their ways. They're like stuck in this. Because the funny thing is, if you told the Amish, okay, no technology at all, remove your tractors, remove the cars, remove everything, then they'd no longer be Amish. They would be starting to get primitive, right? Like cavemen, but like that's kind of what I mean is we can get stuck right? We can say, okay, being human was better when we were cavemen. Being human was better when it was our way. And I think this is an ego issue that we need to understand that this world is not ours, it's the world, and the world's kind of choosing. Like in the business world, they call it the market, right? So, like, if you start a business and you are not doing good in business, then you're not paying attention to the market of like what people want. What are people like? So it's that thing. Not paying attention to what's going on in the world around us makes us think that this new stuff is bad, or these kids today, or like when algorithms were added into social media, so many people misunderstand algorithms because what I think social media did is it reveals you to you, because I have self-control, right? So like me having self-control, I'm able to use social media without getting caught up into the nonsense, right? I understand what an algorithm is. So like if I watch educational videos, the algorithm shows me more educational videos. If I watch drama, I get showed drama. Like there's a reason why I think social media needs like we need not a rule book, but like something to educate us on what an algorithm is, something to educate us on how these things actually work, because Coinbase is a cryptocurrency app, like it's a cryptocurrency wallet. Now, on that app, you can go on that app and they will pay you like $5 in crypto, $3 in crypto, $10 in cryptocurrency for you to watch educational videos on what cryptocurrency is. So like they are basically paying people to learn about the blockchain, to learn about this new world that's happening. I wish Facebook and YouTube and TikTok and Twitter and Instagram would do the same thing, because now what's happening, like most people have no idea that NFTs are getting ready to be added to YouTube, to TikTok, to Instagram, because now we're in this next stage where it went from MySpace to Facebook to then all these other things were invented to YouTube to TikTok to first Musically, and then Musically was bought out by TikTok. But so many people don't understand that something is being created that we're not really paying attention to. Like, because now YouTube has YouTube Shorts, which then it just attached the feature that TikTok has to YouTube. And this is what makes these all social medias, is all of them are sharing with each other the different features they have. If TikTok had the up and down short videos or whatever, but now TikTok has 10-minute videos where you can sit there and make a video for 10 minutes. And it's like they're all evolving because none of these things want to be like MySpace or Musically, right? Because Musically, I guess, was the second MySpace that like it got bought out and turned into something else. Now, funny thing is, MySpace still exists. You can go to myspace.com right now. But it's not set up the same. It's nowhere near the same. It's completely different. And that's why nobody uses it. So right now we're having this issue where, because this thing is moving so fast, so many people jumped off. Was like, it's so hard to keep up with. It's so hard. I get this. But that's why this is my life, right? I love this life and I live this life, but to some people this is just this is just something they do, like a hobby. But there's a difference between somebody who plays games as a hobby and a gamer, right? So this is why I think there's a huge difference between someone who makes videos on YouTube or someone who makes TikToks and a social media influencer or a content creator. What these words mean is these are jobs. This is a career. Like, this is not, the evolution of the world is allowing us to, in the 70s, 80s, 90s, there was a few major record companies that, like, if you wanted to make music, you had to go through them. if you wanted to hear information, news about what's going on in the world, you had about 5 companies that you had to go through, right? There was no other option. So now that there's options, the reason why I love social media, because like before the thing happened in Ukraine, everybody on TikTok was talking about it. Like there was real people from the Ukraine making videos, real people from Russia making videos. I've seen videos on TikTok that they couldn't show on the news, right? Obviously those videos got deleted eventually, but it's the fact that we're able to immediately share information with each other across the planet. The news says something, we can easily just go to TikTok, follow some people that actually live there, and we can listen to what they say. Like, what the problem is that I see a lot of people are having with social media is they don't have self-control. So they're watching a bunch of nonsense and they're watching a bunch of political stuff, so then they get shown more political stuff. I ain't never been shown political stuff like ever, because my algorithm is set up for me. Like, your algorithm is set up for you. So if you see nonsense on your social media feed, that means you got to stop following nonsense. If you're on Facebook, you got to start following Facebook groups that you're interested in. Like, we are only seeing the things that from the people we're friends with on Facebook. Like, I don't think people are understanding that this is on you. That social media is revealing you to you. Like, it's like, so many people be like, you know, all this shit on social media today, it's ridiculous or whatever. I had my one friend talk about, like, all these people just dancing and mouthing lips on TikTok. And I'm like, yeah, they're kids doing what kids do in the 2022. Like, it's, most adults are so disconnected from the world and only connected to their world that they can't see that this is what kids do now. Like, when I was a kid in the 90s, right, when game systems started really becoming a thing, you know, the PlayStation 1 came out, and like, I remember when the PlayStation 1 first came out, all the adults were bugging the fuck out, saying, well, why don't you guys go outside and play? You know, now all you want to do is play on your game system. And it's like, well, why don't you mind your business and worry about your life? Let the kids be kids. Like, let the kids be the kids of the time that they were born, right? There's a reason why the kids were born now and not then. There's a reason why, like, it's just a matter of either you get with the program of, like, well, you know, life is evolving, things are changing, and you gotta not hold on, right? Easily let things come, let things go. And, like, that's what I've been doing with social media, is, like, as I can see, that's why ever since I started looking at this differently, because of my daughter, right? I have a 10-year-old daughter who has always wanted to do social media since she was like 6. That was her dream. That's her dream. But that's a lot of kids' dreams, because in the 70s and 80s, people had dreams about being a rock star, right? Nobody has that dream anymore. Nobody thinks about that anymore. Rock music is basically dead. Like, so nowadays, people, like, back then they had dreams about being on TV. Kids don't watch TV. You know, I haven't had cable or had a TV since 2014. Like, that's why I'm in the thing with everybody else, because I understand that kids don't watch TV. They don't watch TV stations. They don't watch the news. They don't watch those things. That's old people things. Like, I guess I'm starting to understand that, like, you can either become that old man that doesn't get it, because that was my grandfather. My grandfather was so anti-technology that, like, when my dad got them a computer, like, my grandmother wanted a computer, she wanted the internet. My grandfather did not allow her to have the internet. She could have the computer, she couldn't have the internet, because he was scared that she was going to find somebody and leave or something. Irrational fears, right? Fear is the reason why these people aren't evolving. Fear, right? Don't be scared of change. Don't be scared. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I see people getting so mad over social media. And I'm like, just change what you watch and you'll stop seeing that nonsense. Stop liking nonsense and you won't see the nonsense. Right? You know, like, TikTok, for example, if you watch a video longer than, like, 10 seconds, I'm pretty sure it starts adding those type of videos into your algorithms. This is just about getting educated on how to use social media, right? How to use it. So I've never had notifications on my social media thing on anyone since 2010. I've been on Facebook since 2010. I ain't never put notifications on for nothing. My phone is always on silent, always, because I understand that this is a thing that, like, I see a lot of old people, like my mom, for example. Every time somebody messages my mom, every time she gets a notification, she thinks she has to read it. She thinks she has to stop what she's doing to then pay attention to what that thing is saying. And I'm like, Mom, you were just doing something. She's like, yeah, but the phone's going off. I'm like, who cares? Get it when you're done doing something. And it's just a matter of, like, learning how to do these things. Learning that there is no gun to your head saying you have to watch political videos, you have to watch news, or you don't have to watch nothing. You don't. And the funny thing is, you don't have to delete social media. You just have to gain more self-control and stop watching things that you don't want. Like, so many people have a problem of, like, when there's drama or there's problems, if I see in this thing and the title says Cardi B arrested for yada yada, so many people are going to want to click on that. But you got to train yourself to not pay attention to that nonsense, because I'm doing things with my life. Social media is a tool. Because I'm an artist, it's been a tool that I've used to get out my music. It's been a tool that I've used to spread my knowledge. It's been a tool that I've used to gain knowledge. I never went to high school. I didn't go to college. I sat here on the internet getting educated. I sat here reading research papers and fucking watching documentary after documentary. I cut out Netflix and Hulu and all these other shits just to learn about the things that I wanted to learn so I can live the life that I wanted to live. Like, this is a thing that's helping me. It's just a tool. And just like a gun is not good, a gun is not bad. It depends on who is holding it. So social media is not good, it's not bad. It's just, it's like with social media, we never went to target practice. We never started understanding, especially when algorithms were added into this, right? People don't understand what algorithms are. They think that, if I say this word, the YouTube algorithm won't put me in the thing. And, like, yeah, but no. Because also, if you just, people like the video, it puts it into the algorithm thing. If people watch more than 10 minutes of it, it puts it in the algorithm thing, right? Like, the algorithm is, long story short, just this thing that kind of remembers patterns. So it's showing you your patterns. That's why I'm saying social media is just revealing you. And if your social media feed has a bunch of drama and political bullshit that you don't want to see, you're seeing something about yourself that you don't want to see. I'm telling you. And I know, like, I'm not trying to throw shots at anybody. I'm just saying that it's showing you that you don't have enough self-control to not click on those videos, to not click on, like, like news people will write a title to get you to click it. The world's ending today. You must click to figure out. Oh my God, the world's ending today. I gotta click this. Gotta figure it out. And it's like, no, you don't. You gotta figure out what you want to do. Like, how do you want to use this tool? Do you have a message to say? Do you have something you want to express? Because another thing that people are, like, overlooking with social media is that this is, like, this thing manifested out of, like, thin air, out of our imagination, and it's starting to manifest, like, because all these different features on social media are from different apps, and it's not like they're connected or communicating with each other, but, like, if TikTok was never invented, YouTube wouldn't have YouTube Shorts. If, like, now that NFTs are here, I'll be able to, like, sell off clips of my videos as NFTs. Like, or maybe an Instagram picture, or maybe this or that as NFTs. Like, the whole world is changing. And if you don't start, like, getting with this, you're gonna be just like the Amish, left behind, stuck in time, because kids are not getting like it's not like this is changing people, it's revealing people, but it is changing us because we're supposed to change. We're supposed to evolve and grow, right? Because if I stayed the same, I would still be the same wannabe thug that I was when I was 18. When I was 20 years old, I was a wannabe thug, right? When I was 14 years old, I got locked up for armed robbery, for putting like a gun to somebody's head. Like legitimate, that's who I was. So like, social media has helped me because I was able to gain more control and like once I gained focus, I was able to direct my attention towards the things that I wanted to do. Like I wanted to learn quantum physics. I wanted to learn how drugs affect my brain. I wanted to learn all these different plants and herbs. I wanted to learn business. So like I'm using all these things as tools because I want to make music still. So like I use social media to help get out all this shit, right? And now with social media, we have the same power that the humans, the artists in the 80s did. The people in the 80s that were signed to a record company, right? The people in the 80s who had like TV deals and TV brand deals, right? Now we can do that right from fucking here. Like, if a company hit me up, if I wanted, I could literally advertise, let's say this is a lighter. If a lighter company hit me up and said, yo, we're gonna send you a bunch of lighters and whatever, if I used the lighters, right, if it's something I liked, then I could advertise it and I can get paid, right? Like, we no longer have to working jobs for major companies that don't give a fuck about us. And yeah, YouTube and Facebook and these people don't really care about us either. But they gave us a platform. They gave us a space for us to do something with it. And it's up to you about what you do with it. What are you doing with your space? What are you doing with your TikTok? What are you doing with your Instagram? What are you doing with your YouTube? What are you doing with your Facebook? It does not matter what anyone else is doing with these tools. You got to worry about what you're doing with the tool. And then get your message out. Express yourself. Because this is a tool designed to, in a sense, document you. Because you will never exist again. Like, even if our souls exist for millions of years, you will never be this you ever again. So I love social media because it allows me to document me. My great grandkids will be able to learn information from me. They'll be able to see their great grandfather, right? And this is something that has never been before. The fact that I have like 10 people I went to high school with that are dead, right? But these 10 people I went to high school with, like every year around their birthday or every year around something, I see a memory of their post, right? Because now Facebook has this thing where you can like share memories of the dead people, right? So like something is happening that we're not understanding, and we just need to look at it better. Don't get irritated about it. Don't get mad about information. Just learn to listen to information and like see if there's something that you can learn from. Like, see, this is where like I don't really like to say shit like this, but this is real. That like maybe it's not the social media that's bad. Maybe it's you. And not that you're bad. It's that you have bad habits that social media is showing you. It's revealing you to you. Because my news feed, my Facebook feed, my TikTok feed, my Instagram feed, like, these are all, I made them this way. So on Instagram, I see a bunch of woke knowledge, and I say woke, I mean like deep shit that wakes you the fuck up. Like Terrence McKenna, Alan Watts, maybe some Tom Bilyeu, maybe some like Evan Carmichael, maybe some like, these are things that I designed my Instagram, so I don't see nothing that I don't want to see. On the Instagram thing, if I start if I start watching a bunch of hot girls on Instagram, then the algorithm's going to show me more hot girls. If I like this is just revealing us to us. So if you're having an issue with social media, it's just showing you the algorithm is just showing you your patterns. It's repeating your patterns to you. So maybe it's time for us to change our patterns.